What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Micheal Rivera. Micheal Rivera states that Romero hasn't fought anyone any good since he robbed Mariñez. Ooh. Micheal Rivera, which is 21-0, is still riding high following his 8th round knockout of John Fernandez on July 3rd on Showtime Boxing. The fight was a WBA lightweight eliminator, and Rivera hopes to fight for the world title sooner than later. There were, however, a few rough patches in the fight. Fernandez sent Rivera to the canvas for the first time in his career in the 6th round with a questionable knockdown. Rivera wasn't hurt and went on to stop Fernandez 2 rounds later. The 23-year-old Dominican Republic native is now hoping to secure a showdown against lightweight champion Romero. And this is what he said. He said, "I won my eliminator in spectacular fashion. It is now clear to the whole world that I am taking this very seriously and that I won't be waiting around long for a shot at a title," said Rivera. Romero was also in action July, stopping Anthony Yeggett in 7th round in San Antonio. Rivera said that he respects Romero as a fighter, but hasn't been very impressed with his recent string of fights. He said he's a champion for a reason. He won the fights and he did what he needed to do. But that belt is going to be mine, Rivera told BoxingScene.com. He hasn't fought anyone very good since Jackson Mariñez, and it was obvious that Mariñez won the fight clearly and was robbed. And he needs to fight better opponents, and I am now the mandatory, and he should fight me next and stop fighting these low-level opponents, Rivera stated. Now, what do I feel about what Rivera said? I 100% absolutely agree, and I'm glad someone brought that to the attention because everyone talks about Rolly this, Rolly that, what Rolly said, what Rolly wants, and this, that, and the other, but at the end of the day, he hasn't done shit. That's seriously, he hasn't done anything but run his mouth and promote the possibility of fighting certain fighters, which never seems to happen. See, do you guys know Team Haney went after him and he declined the offer? First, he said that Devin Haney's the biggest bitch in boxing. Then he said he'll fight him. Then he turned around and said, you know what? Don't even mention his name to me. Then he said he would fight him again. Then he turns around and says, you know what? I declined the fight. But that didn't stop him from running his mouth. So, based on what we've seen him do, is run his mouth, is talk, is cap, okay? That's all Rolly's been doing. And then what he's doing is he's making himself, building his name off of potential fights, but never fighting anyone, okay? And it was crazy because you're looking at someone like Micheal Rivera stating the facts, calling them out, and no one really talks about Mariñez. Jackson Mariñez was this guy that outboxed the sluggish, awkward Rolly Romero for, 12 rounds? Or was it 10? However long that fight lasted, he got beat round by round by round, and they robbed that man. Why? Because Rolly Romero is a Floyd Mayweather fighter. Okay, he's a Mayweather Promotions fighter. TMT promotion. So he had the bigger, most known, popular outfit that carried the most money. Okay, not Jackson Mariñez, sad to say. No one knew who he really was. But now he's the guy that's known to being robbed. He's almost like Erislandy Lara when he was undefeated 16-0 going up against Paul the Punisher Williams after Paul Williams was knocked out brutally by Maravilla, okay, from Argentina. Okay, so this is no different, and they rob Lara like they robbed this guy. And it's bad because you have guys that's calling out Rolly, and Rolly's calling out higher opposition, guys that he won't fight. He won't get a fight with a top guy until that top guy is not even a top guy no more. That's what they do over there. Okay, they promote these guys after promoting themselves, and that's the way they promote themselves. They talk about fights that never really will happen. Then whatever happened to the rematch with him and Jackson Mariñez? I mean, with a crowd. I don't mean with bullshit bubble and drunk high judges and all that shit, because they couldn't have been looking at that fight to judge it. Okay? The way they judged that fight, dude, you judged that fight based on someone paying you to judge that fight. I'm convinced, because there was no way the scorecards reflected that fight. And Rolly's sitting around, and then he wanted to be a dick about it. He didn't want to show respect. He didn't really do anything. All he really did was just run around and jab, and I was the one that was coming forward with the punches that I did. So I would think, I would fight him again. Why not fight? He sounds like a fucking prick. You know what I mean? He sounds like a high-tuned Aki. Right? And that's just annoying, because he has this real high-pitched kind of, type voice, which that's annoying enough. But then based on hearing that voice and based on what that voice is saying, the words are developed from what he's saying, the sentences that he's stringing together. It's like, yo, not only are you annoying to hear, but you're a fucking dickhead, because you're talking a bunch of shit that you're not even backing up. Now, had he be knocking guys out, if he was stopping guys that were on the level, that would be different. I mean, I probably would still not like him, but I would have to respect him. But in this case, this cat's just talking with that annoying ass voice, saying things that he's not going to do, downing, declining, avoiding top fights from the WBC champion, Devin Haney. But then yet you want Tank. Get the fuck out of here. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Micheal Rivera and Rolly Romero. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.